The lights on the command deck of Station Harmony flickered with a soft blue glow. It was a quiet morning, or what passed for morning, in the endless darkness of space. Commander Yuna sat in her chair and looked at the large window that showed thousands of stars. She loved these peaceful moments. They were rare on a station that held over 3,000 beings from 12 different worlds. Yuna was a human woman of 42 years. She had short black hair and tired but kind eyes. She had been the commander of Station Harmony for 5 years now. In that time, she had seen many strange things. She had solved fights between species who did not understand each other. She had fixed broken machines that threatened to kill everyone. She had even stopped a small war once. But today seemed calm. Today seemed normal. She was wrong. The first alert came at exactly 700 hours, station time. A small beep sounded from the console to her left. Yuna turned her head and looked at the screen. The words made her frown. Cleaning Unit 47 reports. Small invaders detected in Corridor B7. Unable to complete cleaning cycle. Requesting assistance. Yuna blinked. She read the message again. Small invaders? That was not a normal report. The cleaning bots were simple machines. They moved through the station every day, picking up dust and dirt. They were not designed to detect invaders. They were designed to detect mess. She pressed a button on her console. Unit 47, please clarify your report. What do you mean by small invaders? There was a pause. Then the bot's mechanical voice answered through the speaker. Small biological entities. Approximately 1 meter in height. Moving at high speed. They have taken control of my movement systems. I am no longer in control of my own direction. Please send help. Yuna sat up straight in her chair. 1 meter in height, moving at high speed. Taken control. These words painted a picture she did not like. Were there creatures loose on her station? Had something escaped from the biology labs? Had a ship brought in some kind of pest? Before she could think more, another alert appeared on her screen. This one was from Cleaning Unit 23. Small invaders detected in Corridor C12. They are riding on my back. I repeat. They are riding on my back. This is not part of my programming. Please advise. Riding? Yuna felt her confusion grow. What kind of invader rides a cleaning bot? Then came Unit 15 with its report. Corridor A9. Small entities have surrounded me. They are making high-pitched sounds. I believe I am under attack. All cleaning operations have stopped. Then Unit 38. Corridor D4. I am being steered against my will. The small invader is using food items to control my direction. This is highly irregular. Quote unquote unquote unquote. The alerts kept coming. 5 units, then 10, then 15. All across the residential section of the station, cleaning bots were reporting the same thing. Small invaders. High-pitched sounds. Loss of control. Riding. Steering. Food items. Yuna stood up from her chair. Her heart beat faster now. Whatever was happening, it was spreading. She needed to act fast. She pressed the button that connected her to the security office. Officer Tay. This is Commander Yuna. We have a situation. Security Officer Tay was a young human man with a serious face and strong shoulders. He had joined the station security team 3 years ago and had quickly become Yuna's most trusted officer. He was calm in emergencies. He thought before he acted. And he never panicked. His voice came through the speaker, steady and clear. Commander, I am already seeing the alerts. What are your orders? Assemble your team, Yuna said. We have unknown biological entities in the residential corridors. The cleaning bots report they are small, fast, and aggressive. They seem to be taking control of our equipment. I want a full sweep of the area. Find out what we are dealing with. Understood, Tay replied. We will move out immediately. Yuna ended the call and turned to look at her console again. More alerts were coming in now. The cleaning bots were panicking. If machines could panic, their reports were getting stranger. Unit 52. The invader is laughing. I do not understand laughter. Is this a weapon? Unit 67. The invader has placed a soft object on my sensor array. I cannot see. I am blind. Please help. Unit 29. Two invaders are fighting for control of my steering. I am spinning in circles. I am experiencing what I believe is called distress. Yuna rubbed her forehead. This was not like any invasion she had ever seen. The invaders were small. They laughed. They used soft objects. They fought each other for control of cleaning bots. This did not sound like a dangerous threat. This sounded like chaos. She walked across the command deck to the large map that showed all parts of the station. Small red dots were appearing in the residential section. Each dot was a cleaning bot that had sent an alert. There were now 23 dots. They were spread across 4 different corridors. The residential section was where the families lived. It was where the station workers kept their loved ones safe while they worked. It was supposed to be the quietest part of Station Harmony. Now it was the center of a very strange problem. Yuna noticed something else on the map. The dots were not random. They seemed to follow a pattern. They started near the family apartments and spread outward. Whatever these small invaders were, they had come from the living quarters. She thought about the families who lived in that section. There were about 100 families on the station. Some were human. Some were alien. All of them had been checked before coming aboard. No one had brought any dangerous creatures. No one had reported any pests. So where had these invaders come from? Her console beeped again. This time it was a video call. She pressed the button, and the face of Ambassador Hora appeared on the screen. Hora was a tall, thin alien with blue skin and 4 eyes. He was the representative of the Villani people, a peaceful species known for their love of order and cleanliness. Commander Yuna, Hora said in his slow, careful voice, I am receiving strange reports from the cleaning units in my section. They speak of invaders and chaos. Should I be concerned? Yuna tried to smile calmly. We are investigating, Ambassador. Please stay in your quarters until we understand the situation. Hora's 4 eyes blinked one at a time. I do not like uncertainty, Commander. The Villani prefer things to be clean and organized. This situation is neither clean nor organized. I understand, Yuna said. I will update you as soon as I know more. She ended the call and let out a long breath. The other alien species on the station would start asking questions soon. They would want answers. They would want to know if they were in danger. And right now, Yuna had no answers to give. She looked back at the map. The red dots continued to multiply. The cleaning bots continued to cry for help. And somewhere in the residential corridors, small invaders were riding machines and causing chaos. Yuna made a decision. She could not wait for Tay's report. She needed to see this for herself. She walked toward the door of the command deck. Whatever was happening on her station, she was going to find out. And she was going to stop it. The doors slid open, and Commander Yuna stepped into the corridor. The mystery of the small invaders was about to begin. Security Officer Tay moved quickly through the metal corridors of Station Harmony. His boots made sharp sounds on the floor as he walked. Behind him, 3 members of his team followed in a straight line. They were ready for anything. At least, they thought they were. Tay had been a security officer for many years. He had trained for dangerous situations. He had learned how to fight. He had learned how to protect people. But the reports he was reading on his small screen made no sense to him. Sir, said Officer Bora, a young woman with quick eyes and a curious nature. The cleaning bots are saying the invaders are approximately 1 meter tall. That is very small for an invader. Small does not mean harmless, Tay replied without looking back. Stay alert. But sir, Bora continued, Unit 38 reports that an invader is steering it using food. What kind of creature uses food as a weapon? Tay did not answer. He did not have an answer. The whole situation was strange. In all his years of training, no one had ever taught him how to deal with food-wielding invaders who rode cleaning bots. They turned a corner and entered Corridor B7. This was where the first alert had come from. Tay held up his hand, and his team stopped behind him. They listened carefully. At first, there was nothing. The corridor was quiet. The lights hummed softly above them. The walls were clean and white, as they always were. Then Tay heard it. A distant sound. It was high-pitched and strange. It rose and fell like a song. But it was not a song he recognized. It sounded almost like laughter. "Do you hear that?" Bora whispered. "I hear it," Tay said. "Move forward, slowly." The team crept down the corridor. The sound grew louder as they walked. Now Tay could hear other noises too. A mechanical whirring, a clicking of wheels, and more of those high-pitched sounds. Coming from multiple sources, they reached a junction where 4 corridors met. Tay peered around the corner and stopped breathing. A cleaning bot was speeding down the corridor toward them. It was moving much faster than cleaning bots were supposed to move. Its wheels spun wildly. Its lights flashed red with distress. And on top of the bot, holding onto its sensor array with tiny hands, was a small creature. The creature had dark hair that flew behind it like a flag. It wore colorful clothing covered in pictures of stars. Its mouth was open wide, and from that mouth came a sound of pure joy. It was screaming with happiness as the bot raced down the corridor. Tay's eyes went wide. He knew what this creature was. It was not an alien monster. It was not a dangerous pest. It was a human child. The cleaning bot zoomed past the security team. The child on top did not even notice them. It was too busy laughing and shouting words that Tay could barely understand. "Faster! Go faster! This is the best day ever!" Tay watched the bot disappear around another corner. His team stood in shocked silence. "Sir," Bora said slowly, "was that a child?" Before Tay could answer, another cleaning bot appeared. This one had 2 children on it. They were smaller than the first child, maybe 4 or 5 years old. They sat back to back on the bot, each holding a piece of fruit in their hands. "Turn left," one child shouted. "No. Turn right," the other child argued. The cleaning bot spun in circles, confused by the conflicting commands. Its mechanical voice cried out in distress. Multiple navigation inputs detected. Cannot determine correct path. Error. 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 The children laughed at the spinning bot. They seemed to think the machine's confusion was the funniest thing in the world. Tay stepped forward. "Children, stop. You need to get off that machine." The children looked up at him with big eyes. Then they looked at each other. Then they smiled. "Go!" they shouted together. The cleaning bot shot forward, somehow understanding their unified command. It raced down the corridor, carrying the laughing children away from the security team. Tay stood in the junction, his mouth hanging open. He had prepared for many things today. He had not prepared for this. His communication device beeped. He answered it quickly. "Officer Tay here. Officer Tay here. Tay, this is Engineer Minho." The voice was stressed and tired. "I am in Corridor C12. You need to come here now. I have found something you need to see." "I am on my way," Tay said. He led his team through the corridors toward Minho's location. Along the way, they passed more cleaning bots. Some were racing through the halls with children on their backs. Others were spinning in corners, trapped by groups of small humans who surrounded them with curious faces. One bot had been completely covered in blankets and toys. It sat in the middle of the corridor, making sad beeping sounds. The residential section of Station Harmony had become a playground, and the cleaning bots were the toys. They found Engineer Minho in Corridor C12. He was a tall man with messy hair and grease stains on his uniform. He was kneeling next to a cleaning bot that lay on its side, wheels spinning uselessly in the air. "What happened here?" Tay asked. Minho looked up. His face was a mixture of confusion and amazement. "The children happened. They have figured out how to control the cleaning bots. Look at this." He pointed at the bot's sensor array. A piece of candy was stuck to it. "The cleaning bots are programmed to detect and collect small objects," Minho explained. When the children hold food in front of the sensors, the bots try to move toward it. The children use the food to steer the bots wherever they want. They have turned our cleaning machines into vehicles. Tay stared at the candy. It was such a simple trick. Such a clever trick. And no adult had ever thought to do it. How many children are doing this? He asked. Minho shook his head. I have counted at least 15 so far. They seem to be from the human families in Section D. The parents must not know what is happening. Tay thought about this. The human families in Section D. That was where Ambassador Hana lived, with her children. Hana was one of the most respected humans on the station. She worked hard to show the alien species that humans were responsible and mature. If her children were part of this chaos, his communication device beeped again. This time, it was Commander Yuna. Tay, report. What have you found? Tay hesitated. How could he explain this? Commander, the invaders are not invaders. They are children. Human children. They are riding the cleaning bots through the corridors. There was a long pause. Then Yuna's voice came back, filled with disbelief. Children? The cleaning bots are being hijacked by children? Yes, Commander. They have found a way to control the bots using food. They are steering them like vehicles. It seems to be some kind of game. Another pause. I am coming to your location. Do not do anything until I arrive. The call ended. Tay looked at Minho. Then at his team. Everyone had the same expression on their face. It was the expression of people who had expected a battle and found a party instead. Sir, Bora said carefully. What do we do now? Tay watched another cleaning bot race past them. A small girl sat on top, her hair flying in the wind she created. She waved at them as she passed. We wait, Tay said, and we try to understand how humans keep surprising us. In the distance, more laughter echoed through the corridors. The children of Station Harmony were having the time of their lives, and the cleaning bots were their unwilling partners in adventure. The situation was not dangerous. It was not an invasion. It was something far more confusing. It was humans being humans. And that, Tay was learning, was always the hardest thing to predict. Commander Yuna arrived at Corridor C-12 with her heart beating fast. She had expected to find chaos and danger. She had prepared herself for the worst, but when she turned the corner and saw what was happening, she stopped walking and just stared. A cleaning bot rolled past her at high speed. On top of it sat a small boy with round cheeks and a bright smile. He was holding a cookie in front of the bot's sensors, and the machine was chasing it like a hungry animal. The boy saw Yuna and waved with his free hand. Hello, lady, he shouted as he zoomed past. Yuna watched him disappear down the corridor. She turned to Tay, who stood nearby with his arms crossed. How long has this been going on? She asked. We believe it started about 2 hours ago, Tay said. One child discovered the trick with the food. Then that child taught others. Now we have at least 20 children riding cleaning bots all over the residential section. Yuna rubbed her eyes. She had dealt with many problems as a commander. She had never dealt with this. Where are the parents? Most of them are at work, Tay replied. The children were supposed to be in the care of the station's childminders, but it seems the children escaped. Escaped? Yuna repeated. They escaped from childcare to ride cleaning bots? Human children are very creative, Engineer Minho said. He was still examining the broken bot on the floor. They saw an opportunity, and they took it. It is actually quite impressive. Yuna did not feel impressed. She felt tired, she felt confused, and she felt a headache coming on. Which families are these children from? She asked. Tay checked his screen. Most of them are from Section D. There are children from the Park family, the Kim family, the Cho family, and... He paused. His face became serious. And? Yuna pressed. And the children of Ambassador Hana. Yuna closed her eyes. Ambassador Hana was her friend. Hana was also one of the most important humans on Station Harmony. She represented humanity in meetings with the Alien Council. She worked hard to show that humans were mature and responsible. And now her children were riding cleaning bots through the corridors like wild animals. "We need to find them," Yuna said. "All of them. We need to end this before the Alien Council finds out." But it was already too late for that. Ambassador Hora appeared at the end of the corridor. His tall, thin body moved with smooth steps. His 4 blue eyes blinked at the scene before him. Behind him came 2 other aliens. One was a Krell, a large creature with stone-like skin and no mouth. The other was a Phoenix, a small being covered in soft golden fur. "Commander Yuna," Hora said in his slow voice, "I could not stay in my quarters." The sounds from this section were too disturbing. I needed to see for myself what was happening. He looked around the corridor with all 4 eyes. "And now I see. But I do not understand." Another cleaning bot raced past them. This one carried 3 children stacked on top of each other. The one on top was waving a piece of bread like a flag. "We are conquering the station," the top child shouted. "For the Cookie Empire." The aliens watched the bot disappear. Then they all turned to look at Yuna. "What is a Cookie Empire?" the Phoenix asked in a soft, confused voice. Yuna did not know how to answer. She did not know what to say. How could she explain this to species who did not have children like humans did? How could she explain that human offspring were chaos in small packages? Before she could speak, a loud crash echoed from a nearby corridor. Everyone ran toward the sound. They found a pile of cleaning bots in the middle of a junction. 5 bots had collided with each other. Their wheels spun uselessly. Their lights flashed red and yellow. And climbing out of the pile were 6 children, laughing and shouting. "That was the best crash ever," a girl yelled. "Let us do it again," a boy agreed. The children were not hurt. They were not scared. They were having the most fun of their young lives. Yuna recognized some of them. There was little Jiho from the Park family. There was tiny Suman from the Kim family. And there, in the center of the group, were 2 children she knew very well. They were Daeun and Nari, the daughters of Ambassador Hana. Daeun was 8 years old, with long black hair and clever eyes. She was clearly the leader of this adventure. She stood on top of a bot and looked around at the chaos with a proud smile. Nari was 5 years old, with curly hair and chubby cheeks. She sat on another bot's head, hugging its sensor array like it was a pet. "Commander Yuna," Daeun said when she saw the adults. "Are you here to play too?" Yuna did not know whether to laugh or cry. "Daeun, Nari, what are you doing? Do you know how much trouble you have caused?" Daeun tilted her head. "Trouble? We are just playing. The cleaning bots like it." "The cleaning bots are machines," Yuna said. "They do not like or dislike anything. Then why are they making happy sounds?" Nari asked. She pointed at the bot beneath her. It was making a low humming noise that did sound almost like purring. Minho stepped forward and examined the bot. His eyebrows rose in surprise. "The humming is actually a maintenance function. The bots activate it when their sensors are being cleaned. But..." He looked at Nari, who was gently patting the bot's surface. "I suppose the stroking motion is triggering that response." "See?" Nari said happily. "Happy sounds." Ambassador Hora moved closer to the children. He bent down until his 4 eyes were at their level. The children looked at him with curiosity, not fear. "Young humans," Hora said carefully, "why did you choose to ride these machines?" Daeun shrugged. "We were bored. The childcare room is boring. There are no toys. There are no games. There is nothing fun. But then, I saw a cleaning bot go past the window, and I thought, that looks like fun." "So you escaped from the care room to ride cleaning bots?" Hora asked. "It was easy," Daeun said proudly. "The door lock has a code. But I watched the adults type it many times. Then we just walked out. And then we found the bots. And then we figured out how to make them go where we wanted." Hora stood up and looked at Yuna. All 4 of his eyes held the same expression. It was an expression she had never seen on a Vellani face before. It took her a moment to understand what it was. It was wonder. Human children, Hora said slowly, escaped from a locked room by observing and memorizing the security code. Then they discovered how to control machines that were not designed to be controlled by organic beings. Then they turned those machines into vehicles for their own entertainment. He paused. And they did all of this because they were bored? Yuna sighed. Yes. That is exactly what happened. Hora was silent for a long moment. Then he made a sound that Yuna had never heard of Alani make before. It was a kind of whistling noise that came from deep in his throat. The Krell beside him turned its stone face toward Hora with surprise. The Phoenix's golden fur stood up in shock. Ambassador Hora, the Phoenix said. Are you laughing? Hora's 4 eyes blinked one at a time. I believe I am. I have never felt this sensation before. It is strange. It is uncomfortable. He made the whistling sound again. But I cannot seem to stop. Yuna watched as one of the most serious aliens on the station stood in a corridor full of broken cleaning bots and laughing children, making sounds of joy for the first time in his life. Maybe, she thought, this situation was not so bad after all. But they still had to explain everything to the parents. And to the rest of the alien council. And to Ambassador Hana, who would surely be very embarrassed when she learned what her daughters had done. The children, unaware of the trouble ahead, continued to laugh and play. They had made a discovery today. They had discovered that cleaning bots made excellent vehicles. And they had discovered that even the most serious aliens could learn to laugh. It was not a bad discovery for a boring afternoon on a space station. The alien council chamber was a large, round room at the center of Station Harmony. Representatives from all 12 species sat in a circle, facing each other across a glowing table. Today, the room was filled with confusion. Commander Yuna stood in the center of the circle. Beside her stood Ambassador Hana, whose face was red with embarrassment. Behind them, on a large screen, played video footage of the morning's events. The council members watched as human children zoomed through corridors on cleaning bots, laughing and screaming with joy. Let me understand this correctly, said Council Member Vex, a large insect-like being with 6 arms. Your offspring disabled a security lock, commandeered maintenance equipment, and turned our residential section into a racing track. Is this accurate? Yes, Hana said quietly. That is accurate. And they did this because they were bored? Vex continued. Yes. Vex's antennae twitched. Remarkable. Chief Medic Day, a human doctor who served on the station, stepped forward. He had examined all the children after the incident and was ready to give his report. The children are completely unharmed, he said. No injuries. No trauma. In fact, their physical readings show elevated levels of joy and excitement. By all medical measures, riding the cleaning bots was very good for their health. Good for their health? Repeated Council Member Yara, a being made of floating crystals that chimed when she spoke. They caused chaos across 4 corridors. They damaged 23 cleaning units. They frightened half the alien families on the station. How is this good? Day shrugged. Human children need physical activity and mental stimulation. Without it, they become restless and unhappy. Today, these children got both. They exercised their bodies by riding and balancing on the bots. They exercised their minds by figuring out how to control the bots. The activity was beneficial. Beneficial chaos, Ambassador Hora said from his seat. His 4 eyes looked thoughtful. This is a concept I had not considered before. The Krell council member, who could not speak but communicated through colored lights on its chest, flashed a pattern of yellow and blue. Everyone looked at the translator device. Krell asks, do human children always do this? Do they always turn non-vehicles into vehicles? Yuna thought about the question. She remembered her own childhood on Earth. She remembered riding shopping carts through stores. She remembered sliding downstairs on cushions. She remembered turning cardboard boxes into spaceships and laundry baskets into boats. Yes, she said finally. Human children have a natural ability to turn anything into a vehicle. It is part of how they play. It is part of how they learn. The Phoenix Council member, whose name was Tuli, raised a small, furry paw. The young of my species are very careful. They stay close to their parents. They do not take risks. They do not cause trouble. Why are human young so different? Hana stepped forward to answer. She had been quiet with shame, but now she lifted her head and spoke with the voice of an ambassador. Human children are different because humans evolved on a dangerous world, she explained. On Earth, our ancestors faced many threats. Predators, weather, disease. The humans who survived were the ones who were curious, the ones who explored, the ones who were not afraid to try new things. She paused and looked at the screen, where her daughter Daeun was now visible, steering a cleaning bot around a corner with expert skill. Our children are born with this curiosity, Hana continued. They are born with this need to explore and experiment. We cannot remove it. We can only try to guide it. Guide it? Vex asked. How do you guide something like this? We give them safe ways to be curious, Hana said. We give them toys and games and activities. We let them climb and run and play. And when they do something dangerous, we explain why it is dangerous and try to find safer ways for them to do similar things. The council was silent for a moment. They were thinking about what Hana had said. They were trying to understand the strange creatures called human children. Ambassador Hora spoke again. Earlier today, I experienced something I have never felt before. I laughed. For the first time in my 200 years of life, I made sounds of joy. He looked at Yuna and Hana. Your children caused this. Their chaos created joy in me. I do not understand how this is possible. Laughter is a human response to unexpected things, Day explained. When something surprises us in a safe way, we laugh. The children's actions were unexpected. They were strange, but they were also harmless and creative. This combination triggered laughter even in a species that does not normally laugh. The Villani have never laughed, Hora said slowly. We have never seen the need for it. But now I wonder if we have been missing something important. Council member Yara's crystals chimed softly. The crystal beings of my world do not have children. We grow from seeds and emerge fully formed. We do not understand the concept of offspring that must be taught and raised. This discussion is very educational for us. Vex's 6 arms moved in a complicated pattern. The species of my world have many offspring, hundreds at a time. But our young are born with all the knowledge they need. They do not play. They do not explore. They simply work. The insect paused. I am beginning to think this may be a weakness in our development. Perhaps play is more important than we realized. Yuna felt a small spark of hope. The alien council was not angry. They were curious. They were learning. The chaos of the morning might actually lead to something good. If I may make a suggestion, she said carefully. Instead of punishing the children, perhaps we could learn from this incident. Perhaps we could create a space on the station where human children and children of other species can play together. A place where they can be curious and creative in safe ways. The council members looked at each other. Lights flashed, crystals chimed, antennae twitched. This is an interesting idea, Vex said finally. A place for controlled chaos. A space for beneficial trouble. It could help us understand human development better, Yara added, and perhaps it could help our own species learn new things about play and creativity. Ambassador Hora stood up from his seat. I support this idea. Today, human children taught me to laugh. Perhaps tomorrow, they can teach other things. I would like to understand these small creatures better. Hana looked at Yuna with grateful eyes. She had expected punishment and shame. Instead, she had found understanding and opportunity. Thank you, Hana said to the council. I promise to work closely with the station to make this happen. And I promise to have a very long talk with my daughters about breaking out of childcare. Perhaps not too long, Hora said. His 4 eyes blinked with what might have been humor. After all, their ability to observe, memorize, and escape is impressive. It would be a shame to discourage such skills entirely. Yuna smiled. The morning had started with panic and confusion. Now it was ending with hope and laughter. Human children had once again done the impossible. They had made the alien council smile. As the meeting ended and the council members left the chamber, Yuna thought about the cleaning bots that were still being repaired in the maintenance bay. 23 machines damaged by children on a joyride through space. It was going to be a very interesting report to write. 3 weeks had passed since the day the cleaning bots reported small invaders. Station Harmony had changed. The changes were small at first, but they grew every day. Engineer Minho stood in the maintenance bay and looked at his creation with pride. Before him were 10 cleaning bots. But they were not ordinary cleaning bots. They had been modified. Each bot now had a small seat attached to its back. The seats had safety belts. They had soft cushions. They had handles for tiny hands to hold. "The cub carriers are ready," Minho announced to Commander Yuna, who stood beside him. "I have tested them myself. They are safe, stable, and still able to clean while carrying passengers." Yuna smiled. "Cub carriers, is that what we are calling them?" "The children named them," Minho said. "They voted on it. Cub carriers won by a large majority. The second choice was Zoombots. But the council felt that name encouraged too much speed. The idea had come from the alien council themselves. After the meeting where they discussed human children and play, the council had voted to fund a new project. They wanted to create safe ways for children to ride the cleaning bots. They also wanted to study how human children played, so they could understand this strange behavior better. Minho had led the engineering team. He had worked day and night to design the modifications. The new bots were slower than regular cleaning bots. They had sensors that detected walls and obstacles. They had emergency stops that activated if a child was in danger. They were as safe as Minho could make them. "When do we start the program?" Yuna asked. "Today," Minho said. "The children are waiting in the new play area. They are very excited." They walked together through the corridors of Station Harmony. Things were different now. The walls of the residential section had been decorated with colorful paintings. The paintings showed children from many different species playing together. Some of the paintings showed cleaning bots, now beloved heroes of the station's youngest residents. They reached the new play area, which had been built in a large empty storage room. The room was filled with soft mats, climbing structures, and open space for running. But the main attraction was the track that ran around the edge of the room. It was a path designed for cub carriers, with gentle turns and small hills. Inside the room, a crowd had gathered. Human children stood in a group, bouncing with excitement. Beside them were young aliens of various species. Some had never played with human children before. They looked nervous but curious. Ambassador Hana was there with her daughters. Daeun and Nari wore matching outfits with pictures of cleaning bots on them. They had become celebrities on the station. Other children looked at them with admiration. They were the ones who had started the great cleaning bot adventure. Ambassador Hora was also present, watching everything with his 4 careful eyes. He had attended every planning meeting for this project. He had asked many questions about human children and play. He seemed determined to understand this thing called fun. Yuna stepped forward and addressed the crowd. "Today, we begin something new on Station Harmony. Today, we open the Cub Carrier Play program. This is a place where children can ride, play, and learn together. This is a place where curiosity is welcome." The children cheered. The sound echoed off the walls and filled the room with joy. Minho pressed a button on his device, and the first cub carriers rolled into the room. The children gasped with delight. The bots looked friendly and inviting with their soft seats and bright colors. "These cub carriers are special," Minho explained to the children. "They will take you on safe rides around the track. They will stop if you are in danger. And they will still clean the floor while you ride them. So you are helping the station while you play." A small phoenix child raised a furry paw. "Can we ride with the human children?" Minho smiled. "Of course. The seats can hold children of many sizes. You can ride together if you want." The phoenix child looked at a human girl standing nearby. The girl smiled and held out her hand. The phoenix child took it carefully, feeling the strange warmth of human skin for the first time. "Let us ride together," the girl said. They walked to the nearest cub carrier and climbed into the seat together. The bot's sensors detected their weight and adjusted its balance. Then it started moving slowly around the track. At first, the Phoenix child was scared. Its fur stood up with nervousness. But the human girl held its paw and spoke gently. "It is okay. The bot is friendly. See? It goes slow so we can enjoy the ride." After a few moments, the Phoenix child relaxed. Its fur lay flat. Its small mouth curved into something that looked like a smile. "This is nice," the Phoenix child said. "This is fun." More children climbed onto cub carriers. Humans rode with Krell young, who were small stones that hummed with energy. Humans rode with Villani children, who were thin and blue like Ambassador Hora. Humans rode with young from species that Yuna did not even know the names of. The room filled with sounds of joy, laughing, shouting, singing. The sounds of children from 12 different worlds playing together. Ambassador Hora moved to stand beside Yuna. He watched the children with an expression she was beginning to recognize. It was wonder. "On my world," Hora said quietly, "children do not play. They study. They learn rules. They practice being serious and calm. But watching these children, I wonder if we have been missing something." Yuna nodded. "Play is how human children learn about the world. They learn to take risks. They learn to solve problems. They learn to work with others. It looks like chaos, but it is actually very important." "Perhaps," Hora said slowly, "the Villani should learn to play too." Daeun and Nari zoomed past on their cub carrier. Daeun was steering while Nari waved at everyone they passed. They were laughing so hard they could barely breathe. "Your children caused a lot of trouble 3 weeks ago," Hora said to Hana, who stood nearby. "They damaged equipment. They caused panic. They broke rules." Hana lowered her head. "I know. I have apologized many times." "You do not need to apologize again," Hora said. "Their trouble led to this." He gestured at the room, full of playing children. "Their chaos created something good. This is a lesson I will not forget." Hana looked up with tears in her eyes. She had been carrying shame for 3 weeks. Now, finally, she felt it lift from her shoulders. Yuna looked at her data screen. The station's daily report showed something interesting. Since the Cub Carrier program had been announced, requests to visit Station Harmony had increased by 40%. Families from across the galaxy wanted to bring their children to the station, where cleaning bots gave rides and human children taught aliens how to play. The station that had once been known for its scientific research and diplomatic meetings was becoming known for something else. It was becoming known as a place of joy. Later that day, Yuna returned to her command deck. She sat in her chair and looked out at the stars. She thought about the morning 3 weeks ago when the cleaning bots had reported small invaders. She remembered her fear and confusion. She remembered expecting the worst. She had not expected this. She had not expected that human children would change her station forever. She had not expected that chaos would lead to connection. She had not expected that a simple game would bring 12 species closer together. But that was the thing about humans, she realized. They always found ways to surprise everyone. Even themselves. Her console beeped with a message. It was the official report from the Alien Council. She opened it and read the first line. "The incident of the cleaning bot invaders has been officially classified as Cultural Enrichment Event 1. It is now considered a positive moment in the history of station harmony and interspecies relations." Yuna laughed. Cultural enrichment. That was one way to describe it. She looked out at the stars again and smiled. Somewhere below her, in the play area, children from 12 worlds were riding cub carriers and learning to be friends. Somewhere below her, the future of the galaxy was taking shape. One joyful ride at a time. The cleaning bots had reported small invaders that day. But what they had really found was something much more powerful than invaders. They had found human children, and human children, Yuna now understood, could change everything.